Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Can you hear me? How's the sound? Sound is good, thank you. It's getting hot in here. We survived the winter, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting hot now, so the fans is loud again, once again. Got some stuff cooking, as you know. We have the Reckoning expansion packed with content that we've been working on for quite a while. And you may have seen our little update on the website where we're gonna go a little bit in depth on the major topics that is included in that expansion we call Reckoning. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about the invasion system, what that is, what it means for Nave and Mirland. Davis Reflex, thank you for the 37-month Golden Age of MO2. Can't wait for Reckoning. We can't wait to see. Let me see if I got such a short. Need to be able to read that. Here, I think. We can't wait to see what we'll be waiting for. Performance has been better as well. Indeed, yeah, we got a lot of positive feedback on our latest patch. It wasn't a content exciting patch, but that's also wasn't really the plan. As you know, we did a specific engine update, and we also focused more on larger scale performance. And yeah, since that patch went live, we got a lot of positive feedback from you guys confirming that you notice improved FPS overall, general just moving around in the world, but also more crowded spaces where there are a lot of players around and mobs. Those also are, you know, runs much better. But we're not stopping there. We're already moving ahead. So with the Reckoning patch, we also we plan to also have another new system we've been working on and planning on quite a while that will also help large scale battle performance, not only between players but also between mobs, creatures and so on. They will also perform better performance in large scale. And obviously invasions, and we have a huge TC overhaul that a lot of you guys have been pushing for. Obviously we need to make sure that large scale perform as good as possible. So another step is the plan along with the next patch that also should be very noticeable in terms of performance, especially around creatures and players. But yeah, we were very happy that you are finally, you know, confirming that client performance have gone up at a good pace as well. We've been struggling a while for that since we went over to Unreal 5. Quite a lot changes from the old engine to Unreal 5, so we've been focusing hard on that, and we know we've done multiple steps optimizing several areas, but it haven't been you know, majorly noticeable until finally the last patch that did a big step in the right direction. But like I said, we have another one coming up that we're quite excited for. We identify very specifically in large scale performance dipping, and this should help that greatly as well. So we're looking forward to that as well, along with obviously exciting content with Reckoning. So we have a few things to go through today. Definitely felt the performance boost last patch. That's awesome. Sarika when? So we're first covering Reckoning, right? Very important gameplay content updates that everyone been you know, asking for and waiting for quite a while that we need to cover. But in we have several artists that are also working on our upcoming continent that we have announced that will be located in North America. So there will be more specific updates in regards of the new continent as well soon enough. There are going to be some juicy updates every every stream and content update now up till reckoning pretty much. New chat is dope. Happy to hear that as well. Quite a lot, surprisingly a lot of work had to be spent on updating that entire chat system. But yeah, now we have a very robust chat system that we are very happy with, and you know, it can be tweaked and fine-tuned wherever we want now. There's pretty much no quirky restrictions that we had in the older system. But right in Austin, Texas. Hey. Yeah, like I said, we haven't fully decided yet exactly where in North America, but obviously we're gonna jump a little bit deeper into that to make sure that all American players can fully enjoy the lower spectrum of the latency. Of course, real facilities. That's how it works, right? ChatGPT does your game today. Not. Dempire, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Very generous of you. Alright, so go Central North America. We will see. Like I said, we will go more deep into that. We're doing several tests to make sure that we find a good range within our optimal ping normalization system where it doesn't go above those numbers where things start to get noticeable. North America, West Coast, high chance that is where we're going. Alright, enough about the new content, right? This is not that stream. Today we're gonna cover reckoning content. Let me just... So we have a few things. I'm just gonna see where I'm starting today. Been a lot of work these days because, yeah, you know, reckoning is packed with content. So I'm not confirming West Coast. I said that may be the case, but like I said, we need more tests. All right. Let me. So I'm gonna show you the invasion. What that is. We're gonna reveal it, right? We heard quite a few speculation in the turn the bass down on your mic. I don't have any bass. It's my voice. Is it bad? Let me do this little thing, and I'm gonna show you a little clip. I'm gonna show you a little clip. I almost missed this one, so bear with me. Starting one thing here. All right. One second, I'm just gonna open the correct thing here. So how have you been, guys? Quite a while since my last stream. When was it? Okay, so let me, where the hell is... There's an ambient sound effect today on stream. I'm gonna show a few different things. So we're gonna obviously reveal the game out is running. Okay, wait, is it... No, it shouldn't be running, right? Only my voice. Whoops, wait, let me just scale this correctly. Almost missed this one. All right. Do you hear the sound still in game? I thought I... Do you hear the squirks? No in-game sounds. No, okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. So let me run a little clip for you, and you will we can go discuss what that is. All right. So let me play this. Should be sound on it. Let me know, guys. Right, guys. So I guess you can guess what the invasion's gonna be starting out with. That was a little tease, right? A little tease. Shows a few things. I guess you can guess what the invasion is, but also we'll go a little bit more in depth what that is. So as many of you guessed already, we're talking about the Tagmatons, right? The MortalOnline2 started with the big conflux incident again when the Tagmatons insectoids were kind of going rampage and kill everything off from the first game, entering the second game when they just disappeared from Nave surface. You know, and things are moving, and we're looking at the invasion system, and the invasion system got a lot of exciting features that we couldn't get to in the first game. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that and show you a few things from in-game as well that I'm quite excited about. So the Tagmatons obviously have been awakened, and there's a lot of content tied to this. Let me just move on to the next topic so people are following here. So we have worked a lot on the AI. There's a marching invasion system going on. So they have obviously their home base deep somewhere. And they have these drones spreading around, scouting the continent of Myrland. And these guys are, you know, spreading. So it's up to the players to push them back or not. And they can even enter cities, which we're going to show you a little bit in a moment as well. So it depends a lot on the players if they're pushing them back or letting them spread all over Myrland. And obviously there's a lot of cool, interesting content tied to this. So it's not just fighting to survive, but there are new items, craftables, materials. And there's a little cool thing that I really enjoy. It's been fun creating that we're also gonna take a little look on very soon. That I think many of you will enjoy as well. Obviously a lot of new creatures. Very cool creatures. We're gonna show some in depth to you guys. And of course new behaviors, attack patterns, and challenges to discover. So let's see. There's a few components to this, right? So obviously there's a broad mother, which is the queen of the Tagmatons, that have some very specific functions in the game. Obviously they can lay eggs and build their different types of Tagmatons they need. And they will do that in very specific ways, and there will be more lore released in the game, and also we'll publish some of that on the website so people can get the baseline of what's going on. Wolf site, what's up? But yeah, the players can do quite a lot of interesting things here. If you happen to stumble upon one of those eggs and taking it away from the hive, their homelands, that kind of breaks a specific thing to the creatures that will also make them a little bit different from the wild one that are connected to the hive, that is, taking control or taking commands from the Blood Mother. And it's a really cool system that we expanded heavily from since the first game. Depth, you will see. I'm gonna show you a little bit. So if the players doesn't, like I said, keep them at bay, eventually a queen can decide to, or a brood mother, can decide to start marching towards a city in the game. So that means there will be invasions, and the guards will do their best to keep the citizens safe, and of course the players can participate in that as well. You're gonna see a little few of those things. While we're talking about the eggs, let me see if I can. Let's not do that one again. We're gonna take a little look in here. So maybe you want a little sound. So you've seen the egg already, and you can find those obviously in some specific locations in the world. And the brood mother is the one that laying these eggs. And if you manage to hatch one, a little thing will come out of it. Very juicy. I really enjoy the look of this skin and texture. Look how moist it is. Cute. I'm really happy how this turned out. Really nasty little bug. So the thing is, you can hatch these eggs, and the first person, this little larva, have a specific name. The first one is attached to eyes to, it's kind of, its mother, and so it will grow and it will follow you around. It will be very weak and fragile, as you can see in this state, so you better protect it, be careful. Exactly, the wriggler is the correct name for this little baby. But it can grow quite a lot, and when it's old enough, depending on the situation on Midland, Stinky, Stinky need to be a mother of one of these. If you manage to keep them alive and have them grow old, they will eventually cocoon into this little beast. It's really cool details. You can even see the shape. If you look at the head here on the little baby, you see, kind of can see it over here, right? It's getting into a cocoon. And obviously after this stage, it becomes something very deadly. And that is the cool thing. Obviously a lot of things for you guys to figure out what to come out of this. But there will be some very interesting creatures that you may be able to get your hands on. And who knows, maybe you can even mount some of them. Who knows? So there's a lot of content tied to this. This is just, the 3 components, but there's a lot of stuff tied to this. And if we take a little look. What the hell? What in the earth? So we got the swarm nearby. And that is a deadly Deadly Swarm. So obviously these guys are parts. They have awakened, as you can see. They're spreading over Milan, so things are gonna get dangerous as hell. Every single have shadows. So obviously we're working a lot with performance, like I said before. So even though here are thousands here, performance is very tight. I'm running at 270 FPS here. I'm not getting a big hit. Like I said, we are working very specifically to be able to support a proper invasion with the swarm. So they're not very random. They start from their home base. Obviously, we can't say where that is. I don't have a 50 series card yet. I'm on a 40 series. So I'm not lucky to get my hands on a 50 series yet. But so yeah, obviously they are coming from Earth again, right, or from mainland surface and spreading. And it's up to the players to keep them at bay, or they will just keep on spreading all over mainland. Eventually they will march into cities and wreak mayhem. So it's only the Tagmatons that goes through the cocooning stages at this point. Of course, I could knock on Nvidia's door and hopefully get a 50 series card, but it haven't been a big demand for us or a requirement for us. Obviously, we want to make sure that the game run on older 30 and 40 series as well, including even 20 series cards, even though they're getting a little bit old. But yeah, I'm running on a 40 series right now. So yeah, the swarm is really cool when you see them swarm like this. There's a lot of tweaks and work in progress still, but it's getting slowly but steady into a really nice state where it feels awesome to be fighting them Tagmatons. Like I said, we're gonna show some small updates every now and then. We may have some screenshots, some lore snips that we're gonna share with you guys when things are cooking in the background. And obviously we're also planning to do some heavy PTR testing on specific things. Obviously there's always a difficult line where we don't want to reveal secret things, right? And reveal all the content in terms of fighting mobs like this. But there's also important factors, especially combat things that we're gonna go through in another stream. That would be very much straight to the point, just balancing and testing feedback and making sure we have a proper line when it's time to focus on that. But yeah, we're starting with the invasion, right? And I think the invasion, the Tagmatons, we can afford to hide a few things, right? So it feels fresh when we go live. I have a crazy fob to be able to zoom in on these little cuties. But let me go to a little bit more. They're so cutesy, so I wanted to zoom in on them. But yeah, so you will see the swarm on distance, and that means they are spreading in different forms. Bug alien invasion. I think you need to read the lore Zenwit. I think you're missing some things. These are not really aliens. It's even from the first game since day one. It's the Tagmatons. There's a few things you can read up about on them, and it's also one of the huge catastrophic conflicts that happen between MortalOnline1 and MortalOnline2. So the Tagmatons is good old enemies of Nave. They just disappeared, no one knows why, and now they seems to be awakening for a reason. And it's up to the players to participate in that conflict or not. We will update these things and post it all on our website as well, so if anyone is missing this, we'll have it there as well. Very nice, Henrik. Sick concept and mechanics. Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm gonna show you a few things more. I have a little clip from some testing today. Again, everything's still a work in progress. We're tweaking heavily numbers. A lot of things may change heavily, but we managed to pull a few shots from when the queen is pulling her gang together and start marching towards Meduli in this case, if I'm not mistaken. AQ40 copying. Not sure what that is. I haven't been following World of Warcraft since their release. I tried it in their release, so if anything seems familiar to that, you know, that's game, you know. Why their name changed from Magnatons to Tagmatons? Because that was a mistake. I'm not sure exactly how the name Magneton got into the game initially, but that stuck for a reason. But we decided to correct it this time around, so it's true to the lore that we have written. They are called Tagmatons, so that is the correct name. Leave Meduli alone. I'm gonna jump over to this scene and I'm gonna show you some shots from the marching function that we've been working on. Obviously everyone is following World of Warcraft, right? Biggest MMO in the world pretty much. What I'm saying is that I'm not full up to date to their lore and specific creatures, because as I said, day one I was a little bit excited to play World of Warcraft, but when I started that game it really clashed to what I think a true sandbox MMORPG is. I just wanted to play with my friends. They started a week before me, so I couldn't play with them. Not a single day I could play with them. I was stuck doing levels, going from place to place, playing solo in an MMO game that I don't want to do. And I wasn't really interested of, you know, going through the lore and that kind of thing. So just kept nagging my friends, please pick me up. Let's just do some boss raiding, PvP, whatever, something fun. They said, no, you have to get to this level. And so it continued forever. I never catch up and I didn't have time. So I spent a few days. There's some cool mechanics and good stuff that I enjoy. Managed to do one raid with my friends eventually. But such a different game, right? And I'm more fan of, I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be forced to be a level 5 zone, do quests infinitely, and don't play with my friends. So that's my biggest, my personal feeling, that why I can't fully enjoy a game like World of Warcraft. But obviously I understand why it's popular and a very good MMO game, especially for the new generation of players that never played a MMO. They pretty much start with World of Warcraft, so that put the, you know, the golden card on the table and shaped every single MMO player that this is a MMORPG. But for me, it's not really this type of MMORPG that I'm personally a fan of. But I mean, many of you guys are here also because, you know, you may be enjoying that type of game that are more like UO, like Mortal, more freedom, a little bit more harsh, a little bit more adrenaline pumping, you know, a little bit more stuff on the line, a little bit more reasons to invest. That's how it's for me personally, at least. All right, let me show you another little clip from, like I said, we put together from a March event when the Brood Mother is marching. There's a lot of things that will bring back players in this expansion, yes. We are tapping into multiple areas because, again, most MMO players, especially sandbox players, don't look at the same thing with the same personal opinion. You know, believe it or not, they don't all share the same opinion or preferences that you may do. Same thing like for me, I have my preferences, right? But the cool thing with our sandbox is there's something for everyone, and the more sand we add into the game, the more exciting things there will be for many different types of players. And when we all come together and meet in different ways, violence or by RP or by just friendly trades, that's a beautiful thing, I think. So absolutely, this expansion packed with content for old players and new players. And of course, one of the big hurdles that almost every veteran player been giving feedback on and also complained on several areas is the TC, right? So obviously TC is one of the big thing in this patch. So you guys that are veterans in here know what I'm talking about. Alright, let me find my little clip here. Where the hell do I have it? Right, so here's a little clip. The queen is gathering her minions, very different types. And as you can see, they can be in large quantities. And then she is bringing them, leading them to specific areas in the world. Eventually, if they spot a city, they will march through and feast. They will feast. As you can see now, they are approaching Meduli. The queen take an eye on it, screeching. The guards are getting scared. What the hell is going on? And, you know, will the players help to protect Meduli or not? So we're getting to real city invasions here. Really cool, really cool. And yeah, you may recognize some of the creatures from the old game. There are obviously many new ones. Let Meduli burn, eh? So it's really cool. Here's obviously some of the flying creatures. Maybe those that maybe swarm in the skies as well, right? Some of those. And they're taking off. So it looks really cool. I really like it, how it's slowly getting together. And the queen is large, as you can see. You can run around the body, under the body, and hit the legs and the stomach. It's really cool. Can I help the queen? I mean, you know, I'm not sure if they accept you, but you can always try, right? And there they charge. So this is some clips from the invasion march states that they can do every now and then, and will do over time. And of course, all of them have some interesting attacks and very different behaviors. There's some cool things that we're also gonna reveal a bit later. Some really cool things. So they spread, right? And you will see how the environment gets affected when they spread. A little bit like the Zerg in StarCraft, you know, maybe some inspiration from there. So you will see when you're deep into their territory that the land looks infested by them. There are also lore tied to this, so there you will understand more what that means. And they have more things than this, obviously more creatures and very specific thing how they transport and do different things in the world that is really cool, that we are not revealing at this point. But I think you will enjoy that as well. And there's a twist how to defend against that, which is pretty cool as well. So a lot of things cooking. No, we talked about the performance earlier. Along with this patch, there will be another step specifically to support invasions, large-scale battles, both between players and creatures. So there will absolutely be some improvement there as well, to be able to support a really grand scale of battles. So this is obviously a huge system we'll be building, and it starts with the Tagmatons using the invasion system. Then obviously over time, depending on, you know, obviously a bit how successful this is, how many people enjoy that type of content, that is always the tricky part, right? What direction in terms of upcoming content, expansion and so on. Everyone wants everything and different things, right? But obviously the expansion can be reused, the invasion system can be reused on different types of species of Nave, right? So not only Tagmatons, but we are starting with the Tagmatons. So yeah, I hope you enjoy those little clips to see some of the things in the making. Can a queen be dominated? So obviously you can't just go there and dominate these incredible beasts. But like I mentioned earlier in the stream, there are a whole system tied to that. And there will be more information about that, how that works and why that works over time. But I already show you guys the egg, larva, the breeding clear, and cocoon system. Obviously that is how you dominate these types of creatures. So a very natural way how to make these creatures attached to you rather than their queen. But yeah, there's some interesting twists to that as well that I think many of you guys will enjoy. Of course, we are also taking a look on general feedback on AI. You know, we have been looking at improving their safe spot, their anti-safe spot abilities, how to reset them, how to break those patterns. So there will be several updates regarding that as well. But you know, players are clever, finding new ways every day. So it's something we are following up on also, as usual. Mortal 2 meets Starship Troopers. It's cool old movie, right? Who enjoyed Starship Troopers? Classic movie today. I thought it was a cool movie. Yeah, maybe some inspiration, right? Yes, true. So the Tagmaton soldiers, all the Tagmatons, now when the queen awakens, or you know, bring them up to surface, there will be lore and explanation of how all that work and how they're kind of connected and so on. Which means you can't just dominate them anymore, but there are ways to break them from the hive of that influence, and that is how you may control some of these creatures. Like I said, maybe some of them can be mounted. I don't know. Last packets, yes, it has a monthly subscription after your free month. And that is how we can continue create assets, content, expansions for free. So we're not selling expansions like, for instance, World of Warcraft. You just get those updates regularly. How does it spread? How do they take over the world? So they have these drones. I'm not sure if there's a shot of the drones. Maybe you can see it somewhere. But it's a very specific Tagmaton that his job is to, you know, spread the hive and populate the environment to manipulate and spread their, I don't have the correct terms, that will be posted in the game and websites, but they kind of spread the fungus things and that will also tell the players that, okay, we're deep into their creep seed. Yeah, maybe you will notice when you're deep into their spores. Yeah, you will notice if you're near specific of their bases, buildings, creatures, you will see that, and that's where they kind of spread off from. So the more the drones can do their work cross Milan, the more they spread, and more bases they build where they come from, and from those you will see greater and greater Tagmatons until a queen decides to go rampage with her minions. The thing is, this is something we can balance in real time, so we're not too afraid of imbalance. Obviously, it's meant to be a threat, right? But obviously, if they're completely taking over the world, we can back off those drones' abilities to spread. So, and we can do that kind of in real time. But we want it to be a huge challenge, obviously. But we will make sure that they don't kill the entire world everywhere, right? Obviously there's a balance in mind, and we have a system for that. So we can make the drones chill a little bit, and also obviously the further they are from their home base, the more spread out and weak they will be naturally. But again, if they are let to be alone, they may eventually be strong or stronger in those areas as well. But yeah, the world is dangerous. We all know that by now. But obviously, if you're a hardcore veteran and you have your gang, you know where the danger is and isn't, right? So obviously, there will be new threats that may also even shake up the veterans. And obviously, that's one thing we want, right? We don't want, you know, we need that rush every now and then in different forms, PvE or PvP. No, they're not resetting it. This is ongoing every day. So very dynamically, they kind of handle things on their own. We set the parameters and let them go at it. Something we're already playing around with, obviously, on tests to make sure it doesn't go totally crazy. Because obviously there is a performance connected to this. If there are thousands of Tagmatons around you at all time, everywhere, obviously that's going to be a hit, right? So we want to find that ground where, okay, they may be in certain areas where you know you can find them quite a lot and fight them, but every now and then over time a queen will bring a gang and start marching. So that means you can run into a random, like this, you can run into a random march, holy shit, over this area where you've never seen them before, and you run into a whole army of them. And like this, now they're getting close to Meduli, which means they will target Meduli as a city they want to feed on and, you know, take over. And they can whoop the guards quite easily. Obviously, that's a balanced thing as well. So you can't just expect the guards to kill it off and now you're safe. You as a player have to kind of wipe them if there are a large group entering the city. Yes, they cost pet points if you want to control them due to balance, right? Because some of them have some very crazy behaviors that you may utilize, which means, you know, that comes at a balance cost. They kill any guards. Anything they march into, they consume very effectively in large numbers. Of course, red players can take advantage of this, but obviously they will also be targets from the Tagmatons and the guards if they do criminal actions. So obviously that it may be a challenging situation for the Reds, but you know, you may take an advantage, yes, because the guards may be very busy trying to fight them off. You don't just tame or dominate them. Like I said earlier in the stream, I can show you again, we have this system. We have eggs that you can find, and if you hatch them, you get this little wrinkler. And if you manage to protect this one and it grows, eventually it will cocoon into this. And after this, you don't know what happens. But that's something you're gonna find out. Face huggers, eh? A little resemblance of the alien egg. Not really, but a little bit, right? Obviously, a lot of good inspiration from many novels and movies. The larva can get quite big, and the cocoon will obviously... it's really cool. You will see more in details, but this is a cool system that I think many of you are gonna enjoy because there's different things to get out of it. Yes, they will fight any wild things like elephants, the Campadons and others trying to survive, but like the lore says, you know, they're in a big number. A hive will consume all the wildlife of Milan, just like it happened before, it may happen again. So they may clean up during their trail towards a location. They may clean up wildlife, including bandits and anything pretty much. Does weather affect that kind of tag hatches, or is it based on egg? We'll not reveal too much about the egg hatching. We want there to be a lot of mystery and exploration as well, right? We want to make sure that there's some long-term content to explore as well. So there's something for everyone. Obviously, instant action, instant rewards from that, participating in the invasion battle. But there are also some underlying interesting things that some players may be interested in. There will be their kind of, you will or you can learn where their homelands are, where they're kind of occurring from very regularly, which means you could go there, yes, and fight them. And then of course on top of that they spread out from those locations with the invasion system, which means you can find them anywhere on Mirland over time, depending on if they push back or not. So eventually they will be all over Mirland, like I said, depending on player pushing back or not. Azog. I'm not sure if this is inspired by Azog. I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of cool mini games that we have plans for in the future, collectible cards, board games and such. So eventually, I mean, Azog the player, or what? I see what you're doing now, guys. Sorry, you know, I don't always keep up with all the names, right? You have to remember that. If a metal relic lands on a bomb mother and her swarm, will it kill them? They will take damage, yes, as anything else in the collision location. I want to ask for this. I think you're completely blind if that's what you think. So we had a lot of requests on these things coming Reckoning for since years ago. We had the invasion system. A lot of people enjoy PvE, believe it or not. There's a lot of content tied to that, and like I said, there's even some craftable materials. There's a lot of new stuff that people are interested in and been asking for. Of course, we have the combat abilities that everyone, almost everyone been asking for a long time, right? We have the TC overhaul that every single veteran player have been asking for. So it's packed with exactly what the majority have been asking for. And I don't think you have missed that. If you have, you are living in a little box, a shoe box or something. Let me catch up a little bit here. So there's something for everyone in this patch. Like I said, some may not be very interested in stopping the invasions and participate in that and miss out on a lot of cool content, and they can buy it from other players if they want to do it that way instead. And of course, like I said, a lot of TC overhaul, that's going to be one focus. I'm sure you've seen on our website, you can see we have the countdown that led to this first topic for the expansion. And then we have AI focus, and then we have the TC overhaul, and then we have combat focus. So we're going to go similar to this, a little bit more in depth, show the different things, so you know a little bit what's cooking currently. Also a good opportunity to gather some feedback on various things as we develop. Rundark, so that is the last stream focus we have, as you can see on our website. I'm not gonna show any combat abilities right now. Can tell you that we've been having quite a lot of fun doing motion capture movements. It's really cool to see motion capture our movements on our characters in game. It's really cool, but there's a lot of work going on there as well. Tons of animation work. But like I said, there's going to be a dedicated stream on the combat abilities. And that's one of the things where we want really heavy PTR focusing from you guys. I'm sure many of you are going to be interested in helping, testing and balancing those as well. Because that's going to be very important. Fatak Gaming, thank you for the 24 month. Good patch idea. Looks like a lot of fun. Please make sure you can't build on top of the spawns. Indeed. Indeed. Yes. 8 on a patch. We don't have the exact date yet, but as we go through these steps more in depth, we're gonna be further and further in. Eventually we will have a pretty good estimate, and we will reveal that at that point. Better be more safe than guess now and may disappoint. Things always take a little bit more time than what you plan and expect. That's just how it is in this project, always been. So we always try to be careful not setting any dates, especially early on. It's better we get it really good, a very polished, exciting, content-packed expansion than, you know, rushed out and not as stable. What materials will drop with invasions and also with the time of attack player buildings. You will see there's a lot of new content packed with the Tagmaton's materials and items you can discover while you fight them, and there are things tied to that as well, which will be more clear over time. Obviously, we are a little bit careful when it comes to player housing. If they just march in and just destroy a house randomly, quickly, and you wake up, log in, and it's all gone. It's kind of like when we had ninja sieges in the past. Many people didn't appreciate that, and it also pushed away a lot of players when they lost everything and didn't have a chance to know they were even on attack. You know, so we're a little bit careful in just wiping people's assets across the world with invasion. As you can understand, that may be quite bad for many things. Along with the combat system, there is Clade updates that ties to the combat ability system. How often will these marches happen? All the time? Yes, all the time. So, as I said, there are multiple... Grandas with the gift, thank you very much. So, there are multiple home bases, kinda, where they are originating from more frequently. That is kinda their deep base, I would say. And from these different locations, drones have one task, and that is to get the hell out of their home territories, spread out, find new grounds for them to spread. So I would say constantly they're spreading everywhere. So it's not a daily event or a specific trigger or a specific time. There are, I don't know how many drones we're gonna have exactly, but there will be many drones. And their main job is to take care of their hive and make them spread and survive. And you will see when they spread on the environment as well. And like here, this is obviously a good tell, right? There's probably Tagmatons over there, right? So if you see stuff in the sky swarming, you're close to an invasion, for sure. Go over there. We're not gonna fight the Tagmatons at this point here in this stream. I'm gonna have a chill stream when we can go over some questions and discussions when it comes to this system. So Gee's going to camp the locations, stop the drones, and lock the content. No, that's not gonna be possible. Like I said, we may have, I don't know, 200 drones or more spread out from these locations, and they move very different directions. They don't go in a predefined path. They spread out on their own. They have their own AI that have one goal, and that is to take over Midland. We have some parameters to balance it and keep it, you know, somewhat in control, so it doesn't completely wipe the surface of everyone, right? But there will be multiple. You won't be able to stop the drones. They will spread from various locations. And one is enough to grow an entire army, eventually starting to march somewhere. So, but like I said, there are going to be a lot of tweaks on the numbers. If we notice that as soon as they get a hold of a base location and growing and spreading their stuff, and they are constantly being stomped everywhere, then obviously we will tweak some numbers to make them even more sneaky to get past players to be able to spread. It's a good thing we have a big world, because that means they will get around without you noticing them. Will we be more than Tagmatons in the future? Maybe Rise of Bandits? Yes, absolutely. So like I said before, this is the invasion system, right? And with the system built with the kind of AI, how it works and controls this spread, that's absolutely something we can reuse on different types of species and enemies. And obviously the Risers will most likely be invading as well, right? And it's a good way to make use of a lot of the work we've been doing so far. What kind of rewards of doing invasions? So there's a lot of interesting rewards. Obviously we have the entire pet thing that you can explore. We have new types of materials, crafting items, and some gear, things that you may be able to use in alchemy or consume in different ways. So there's a lot of different things that you can benefit from trading or instant accessing when participating in the invasion battle. I was expecting the Ryza for the first invaders. You were not alone. I think the majority was guessing the Ryza would be the first using the invasion system. But we thought we would like to spice up things, because one of the cool things is that the Tagmaton's mobs can go quite crazy and do some cool things. And I think it's a fresh PvE experience for a lot of the players. So we picked the Tagmatons, and it also fits a bit the lore, right? How MortalOnline time passed into MortalOnline2 time, where you know, there's some lore on the website, right? What happened there, and obviously now they're awakening again and spreading. Yeah, it fits well with the lore, exactly. And yeah, it's really cool. When we're testing now and then marching through lands, and we see a little Vicent, bam, they go back him and then they continue towards the city. It looks really cool. But did I miss any? Oh my god, Niles, you missed everything almost. Don't worry, we will do the recap as usual, and I'm sure Wolfsight may be doing a recap as usual, which is really cool. So anyone that's missing it can always take a look on the recaps to see the goodies. Is it intended from solo leveling? Inspired from Is it inspired from solo leveling? What do you mean if it's inspired from solo leveling? Play the first cutscene. Do you want to see the reveal teaser? We're gonna put the videos on the website as well, obviously, and YouTube as usual. I mean, there's a lot of melee abilities, but like I said, I don't want to collude the topic and moving on to other topics on a dedicated invasion stream. But obviously there will be a dedicated one for that one, right? So we will cover it in depth. I'm gonna show. That's something we can't always have as a secret, because it needs so heavily balancing and it's so sensitive that we want all of your hands on deck when it comes to testing those abilities and helping us with balance. We want them all to be interesting, exciting, useful, and obviously hopefully not some of them overpowered so everyone uses the same thing. Correct Navy styles. That is, you can see it on the front page. This was the countdown to the first topic of the expansion, the main topic. There will be more stuff obviously in the patch, including various fixes and other small things. But obviously the main topics are very large areas, starting with the invasions in this stream. Then we have the AI updates, and then we have the TC overhaul. That's a huge one that many of you guys also been looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun content to siege and fight over without the extreme commitment, more on a daily basis, I think. And it will be healthy for the game as well, so it's not just full out, full in, blowout and then lose or win everything. It's going to be more manageable, daily, fun content that you can drop in, have fun, and drop out easier. So I think that's going to be a really good change for the TC overhaul. And then, of course, we have the big one after that, the combat abilities that we're going to go in depth in. So don't miss, obviously, our upcoming streams. They will be packed with these kind of things, or focus, I would say. So yeah, we're looking at the numbers when it comes to guards fighting the Tagmatons. Like I said, we want it to be obviously we made sure that the guards doesn't steal the loot, you know. So because that would be a little bit disappointing if you're fighting a queen and the guards is helping, and then when you manage to kill it, the loot takes the guards take the loot. So yeah, we're tweaking those things to make sure that a big invasion can really smack the guards out of the town. So it's up to the players to participate to kind of secure the cities. Obviously a lot of balance going on that. Haven. Haven is very important. That is how we get new players. So I don't know why we would get rid of that. Yeah, obviously the never-ending discussion when it comes to stream sniping in a game like this, online game, obviously any online game for that matter, stream sniping is a reoccurring thing. Twitch doesn't allow it, no one really likes it or wants it, right? But it's such a difficult thing to handle. We talked about it many times. Obviously we're not a fan of stream sniping either, we don't want to support it, and if we see bluntly stream sniping, we have evidence, we have taken actions against it, and we will continue doing it. The main problem is we have seen so many cases where we follow and track this constantly, spend a lot of time on it, and we have hotspots in the game where players are going there to do their daily things, all of a sudden they run into a streamer for the second time. Many may draw the conclusion, oh, it's obvious a stream snipe, when many times it's not. And if, you know, what do we do then? Do we just ban a player playing the game without stream sniping? You know, that becomes quite strange as well. So it's very difficult to handle. So obviously it's always a risk. And there are cases of stream sniping as well. But there are also cases when many think it is stream snipe, when we have really looked closely on it and it isn't a stream snipe. And not taking action, and people get upset. Oh my god, it was so obvious a stream snipe when it wasn't. But there are also cases of stream sniping, obviously, right? I mean, someone can do a stream snipe very carefully and get away with it. No one will ever know, right? So it's kind of mission impossible. And obviously we got a lot of heat of it. You know, like we don't care, but we do care, obviously. But what can we do when it's impossible? That's the problem, right? It's the same for every single online game. It is a problem, and it's sad, but you know. I've been accused of stream sniping when doing bounty hunting before too. We hear it's so easily thrown away. Oh, fucking stream snipe! It's so easily thrown away, when in like 9 out of 10 times it's not even a stream snipe. So it's a little bit annoying for us as well to see it like it's so casually being thrown, like everyone is doing it when you get a beating, you know. But again, there are obviously stream sniping going on as well. But yeah. Some people use it in a good way, you know. Come get some action, you know. Come get us. I'm pulling my gang. Let's have some fights and encourage it to get some action, you know. Some use it that way, and sometimes you don't want to do it, right? And obviously if you want to do sensitive things like placing a house, carrying valuables, then it's a high risk, right? Because again, if it's impossible in some cases not to confirm a stream snipe, we can't just ban people left and right for no valid reason, right? So it's very difficult, and I think y'all can understand why it's so difficult when you look at it on a very neutral view, right? Or point of view. We have one goal and passion, and that is to protect the game from anything bad and to make players to be able to enjoy the game. That's our main goal, right? That is our entire purpose of working with this for 20 years. So it would be ludicrous to think, oh, we don't care, or you know, we help a few players. First of all, it would be so stupid, and there's absolutely no reason in the world when this is our job. We spent 20 years in this project. You know, obviously we care 100,000%, You know, most people would give up. We have had so many challenges and uphill battles. Most same people would give up years ago. So we may be unique in that way that we're quite stubborn in trying to fulfill our goals and deliver you the best possible sandbox experience in the world. But there will be challenges, absolutely. Again, we're also a fraction compared to any other MMO game developer in the world. But yeah. This is cool. The swarm is coming. Am I fully zoomed in? Take a close look on them. Look at these babies flying around. Or is it really babies? See, I'm hitting 200 FPS and I'm running a lot of shit in the background. And this is a swarm of, I don't know how many we have here, but it's over 1,000. So we're working very much with the performance on the client. These are Tagmatons, swarms. So we're doing a lot of optimization and tricks to allow for awesome sceneries. No more jungle bullshit, please. So obviously, you saw that the Tagmatons are spreading all over Milan. They're not just stuck located in the jungle, right? So the Tagmatons can take over city in terms of feeding of it, right? Killing everyone in their visibility range, and their goal is to spread and build new bases. But obviously, for them to permanently hold a city will be difficult because there will keep spawning guards, and there may also be players, obviously, fighting them off for rewards. So yeah. And yeah, my little favorites. I got a fob in this. The little wrinkler. So cute, so cute. Look at the material. I really like how they did the material on this humid moist. And the cocoon. You can see the head of the larva here, or the wrinkler. You see the head here also, right? The body, it's kind of cocoons up. It got a little bit inspired by Gremlins, the movie. I love that old movie. So a little bit inspired by that, you know, this where you can kind of see this shape. I'm sure you guys have seen Gremlins. It's cool. That is not how cocoons work. What do you mean? Not how they work. Do you know how the Tagmaton's cocoon work and the brood mother? Can you tell me how the brood mother makes the egg? Boomer movie indeed. Yeah, the Alien movie, obviously. Some good inspiration there. Similarities, obviously, right? I love it, I love it. Good old Alien was a masterpiece. Alien 1 and 2. Chungui's scan, as I said many times, this is not the combat stream. The combat ability stream. You can see that on the website, the countdown for that. That's when you can tap in if that's the only thing you're interested in. You're welcome in that stream. Or acquire a tag after this patch, the egg you showed. Acquire a tag? Yeah, so they will be incorporated in this new system, and there's also explanation of why and how that all works, lore-wise and all that, so it makes sense. So obviously it starts with the egg, right? Everything starts with the egg. And this fragile wrinkler that you have to keep alive while it grows and eventually cocoons into something. With the current time and spawns remain removed. So some of them may probably stay, as you know, they have some scouting main base areas where you can kind of rely on, you know, they are in those areas. We will have some of those static spawners. So yeah, you'll most likely be able to find them. Can we eat larva? No. I don't think so. Even though it looks a little juicy, eh? Looks juicy. Look at that little baby. Look at the details. How cool is it? How cool is this? And the juicy egg. Juicy cocoon. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Will there be a new hybrid race in the future? You mean playable race? We discussed that since day one, that is a possibility, but obviously again, time is always a challenge, right? Where do we spend our development time? We all want the different things. Looks cute. Maybe tasty. Ruining my flowers, eh? I'm new to Nave, but what's your point of view of actual PvP meta and what change you want to do in the future for that? So obviously there will be a lot of updates when it comes to that with the combat abilities, which is included in this expansion, and it is our main focus on a stream on our last stream for the expansion getting closer to go live. So obviously there will be a lot of new things added that will most likely add a new layer of PvP abilities, skills, you know, and that's why it's so important for us to have hopefully a lot of you guys to help PTR test those, to help with balance and so on. We have had a discussion when it comes to the sorry, spinning meta, which is, you know, when you start mastering parry, counter, the melee system of the game, it very much comes down, especially 1 versus 1, how you disguise your strikes, right? So so you miss the parries and counters. So obviously one of those tactics is to spin around to hide your directions. And some people think it's pretty cool. You know, some people say, well, it's unrealistic that you face your back towards the enemies. You didn't do that in real life, which is kind of true, right? But then also we have movies and other games where you do all these crazy twisting, running around with back against enemies moves. And some people find that pretty cool. We always try to make a, you know, somewhat believable world, even though you see a lot of magic and crazy things because it's not Earth. We kind of agree that, you know, that the meta, especially 1 versus 1, is about spinning and disguise your directions. May not be the, you know, our original end goal vision of how the combat should be. But we also understand why it's necessary today. If we remove the spins today and the top tier 1 versus 1 happens, they will not even be able to kill each other, right? Because they lack options to get past the parries. So that is why we hope that when we can add combat abilities, you will have more tools to your skill set to use to get past that. I mean, already now I've been testing doing multiple motion capture animations. Looks cool and all that, and they all start from different directions, which means there's a whole new army of new abilities or strikes that you have to learn how to block them. I mean, most veterans that are dueling and practicing every day today, they have it in the backbone how to parry, right? How that looks. They learned that, what to look on, look at the body rotation and so on. That's why they're so successful. So there's a lot of skills practice into that, right? And a lot of new players don't like it and refuse to learn that, while some people say, well, that's what you need to learn to be a master. So it's one of those difficult ones as well, where a lot of people likes it, they're mastering it, while some think it's silly and doesn't look as cool. And that is why we are implementing these combat moves that, imagine, you know, just a whole new set of strikes, and you can perform them from different directions. Now you need to, you know, master so many more, right? Of course, you can skip being a melee fighter, right, and be a mage if you want to be that as well. Of course, that's an option. But we're talking about if you're just melee fighters, right? So my hope and goal is that it will be a deeper system that gives you more skill sets and tools to have successful melee fights with high skill ceiling. And if all that works, it may also allow us to tighten the spin ability, or add more penalty when you're spinning, so you don't do it as a constant baseline. But it's too early to say that, because again, we also need you guys that are the pro PvP veterans to see how that works and if it's actually going through to that vision, right? So yeah, but again, that's a whole other topic that we're gonna have a stream focused on. Yeah, obviously draining stamina in spins is one key to, you know, make it less meta, but we need tools to be able to use instead, right? So the X can be acquired in some different ways. Obviously, everything starts with your brood mother, right? So being close to those and figure things out there, you may tap into some eggs. Where there may be a brood mother, there may be an egg. We're putting stuff in for roleplay, absolutely. So even since beta days, we've seen a lot of cool role players and streamers, influencers finding the game, joining in, and we had a blast watching a lot of their content. They said, just like it is, it's such a perfect game to role play in. It's first person, very immersive, you know, high visuals. We have a VoIP system. Everything fits as a glove for some really unique, crazy RP elements. And there'll be so many hilarious situations in this game that have been really, you know, being enjoyable for us to watch and witness over the years. So obviously we hope that we can continue to promote that, give content to that, and see more of that from various players, streamers that wanna, you know, tap into that. And of course, there are several areas and features that helps promoting that. Again, it's just the challenge of what do we pick, what do we choose. We only have these many developers, so it's always a struggle. Obviously, I would wish that we could keep expanding the team quickly and add more and more of those things spread out on the developers. And hopefully, you know, we will get there. We are in a good position in terms of how everything is going, economy-wise, and the game. Even though we have been, you know, haven't had the most exciting patches lately, which always means people will go on breaks, they will play other games, they're waiting for content, right? And having some huge steps, updating the engine only, performance and polish, that's never very exciting. That doesn't bring a lot of players back. So that's also expected why we have a drop in players currently. Last patch wasn't exciting at all. But very important, and we are here for the future also. You know, we're here as a marathon, not a sprint, because we know that if we deliver a big battle siege system with that a lot of people want to join back in and fight, and if everyone crashes or getting 10 FPS, then what was the point, right? Spending all those months in building that system if no one can really enjoy it. That's why we had to do some optimization, engine updates. You guys have been awesome confirming that the performance is absolutely improved. We have more of the performance optimization coming along with this patch, because again, we expect more players to come back. We obviously expect players to participate in invasions, which means tons of stuff on your screen. And of course, the TC overhaul will bring back bigger, frequent battles between players. So it's necessary, and we build for the long run, right? Even though we all want it now, and we're eager to get it now. And we have heard the doom and gloom, you know, since we have heard that since day one, 20 years ago. So we kind of a little bit tired of it, but we're also used to it, right? Someone comes in here, super cool. Oh my god, you only have 500 players in game. They're always wrong because they don't know how numbers works. They think that those 500 numbers are the total subscription we have, you know. But we fully understand where they're coming from. It's just that a little bit tired after 20 years. Oh my god, you're not gonna survive. We've been doing this for 20 years, so we know how it works. Everyone can relax. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. It's that simple, right? But we understand. 200 players fight yesterday with 90 plus FPS. Performance isn't an issue. You know, lines are bugged and there are no TC sieging or other PP reasons login. So we had a lot of complaints, Marcus. You may have a beast computer where you don't really suffer from FPS in general, but a huge complaint from a lot of players, and allegedly so, have been complaining that the performance is too bad compared to Unreal 4. But we know that we can get that back and even surpass it eventually, and that's what we do now. Last patch gave us a lot of FPS back, and all those that have been annoyed by being able to PvP well in big fights from not being able to do it, they can now finally do it again. So obviously that is very important for us. But yeah, if you're on a NASA computer 50 series, obviously you don't care about that as much, right? And we would love to not be able to have to spend a lot of development time on optimizing and, you know, making sure performance is solid everywhere. But that's also not the reality. But eventually, you know, I think that with this next patch, I think there are quite a lot of more areas we can improve performance in. But to a degree, we're also getting to a point where, okay, now it's enough. We can get mid hardware computers to run very well in large battles. That's where we want to be, right? So the majority can enjoy big battles without suffering too much and rage quit. So, but yeah, we get in there, so we can finally move on more fully to game content again. But yeah, there's always something to polish, right? Again, a very small development team. It's easy to forget about that. We are a fraction compared to any other MMO developer out in the world. So we have to be very careful on where we spend our development time. And sometimes sadly we're forced to spend a lot of time on something that people don't see or can enjoy in the game, but it's a backbone thing or performance or bug fixing, but still very important and necessary. Performance is super complicated since it's all about small gains in all areas and very rarely the one of Omega win. Yeah, exactly. We have said many times in many upcoming patch notes, performance optimization in various areas, and people have been excited. Oh, hopefully now I can get some good FPS. And to their disappointment, in those areas they didn't gain that FPS. So a lot of people, you know, lost confidence that now we're just saying we're improving performance, but we're not actually doing it. And when I hear it again, our last patch, we said there's going to be a huge performance improvement. You know, it's understandable that they don't believe us, but the good news is even some of them stepped forward and said, finally, you actually did it. I noticed I got a lot more FPS back. So finally noticeable for pretty much everyone. But yeah, there's a few more steps that we know we're going to make a very noticeable difference. And one of those big ones are planned for this expansion. We actually got a new coder that is he's very passionate about, very technical, deep in the engine, how to optimize things, so it fits him as a glove. So he goes very deep into that. Bring back MO1 walls. Who do you remember how it was? No one enjoyed that. It was, and not only that, we got 1,000 petitions every week about those damn walls. It brings me nightmares to remember them. So I don't think that's a good way. That will be a huge step down. However, we know about the issues, and we are doing a huge TC overhaul that I think everyone gonna enjoy very much more than what we have today. There's some very important changes, and that will be my next stream focus. You're gonna We're gonna tap into that. What's he coding? He's coding a specific system now for optimizing cost of large scale both players and creatures. Obviously that's very important in Reckoning because you're gonna see the swarm of the Tagmatons and there will most likely be a lot of NPCs and players all maxed up. And we have TC overall in that as well, which means there will be huge sieges. So you will get even more FPS in those big battles and big sieges than what we have today. So a very important system. Yeah, the next stream is AI focus, and the next one again is the TC overhaul. Grungism, correct. Yeah, we're a lot that want more RP games, card games, board games, dice, etc. We have dices in the game already, if you haven't noticed. But yes, obviously I want poker, Texas Hold'em, and tournaments, and sit in the cities and play those grand tournaments and be able to VoIP and play with you guys. I'm looking forward to that very much. And of course, there will be more board games over time. We will start the countdown for the next stream shortly, so just keep an eye out on the website and you will know what that date is pretty soon. Poker is a still out game. Well, I love playing poker, and we played a lot of poker in the past, and I see a lot of people in the past were playing poker in our game in a tavern and having a poker next to it. So I think a lot of guys can chill and enjoy it, and you know, if you're a good poker player, you can even make money of it, right? So it's a really fun game for many, but of course there will be others as well. Time is flying as usual, so I think it's also time to move on a little bit here on my points. What if I'm bad at poker? Then you can always play someone that is even worse, right? You just have to find them. There's always someone worse. Let me take a look on, let's see. Let's stop that one, and we have we're gonna do the little Mortal giveaway. Gwent. I don't think I've tried Gwent. I think I heard about it, but that's it. Tazu, the next stream will be updated on the webpage soon. There will be a countdown, so no one will miss it when we start it, but I can't say exactly when we start it. Wait, where the hell... I haven't started a giveaway yet. One moment before you can sign up. Okay, now it started, guys. Now you can sign up MO2 to participate in the giveaway. You're the same setup as True Poker, a fully first-person poker game. So I want it to be a true, realistic poker game. When you sit at the table, everyone can see the cards in the middle, right? So there can be bystanders following the game, following the action, right? And you see your cards, everyone else see them. You do that on the table in first person, and then you put the cards on the table so everyone will see it live and be able to follow it. That's how I want it to be, and I think we have a way to make that happen, which is really cool. Same way how we can do blackjack. A lot of people want blackjack as well. It's a fun little game that everyone can play easily as well, where you will see the blackjack cards on the table and on everyone can see the cards, right? And even count them, you know. Card peeking, I'm not sure about that, right? Could be catastrophic, especially if there's a huge hosted tournament. We don't want cheating, right? So I'm not sure if that's a good thing to add, because then people will peek and ruin tournaments and people will rage and they can't really rely on being a good professional poker player and actually having or organizing a awesome event. Or even when the emperor organizes an event, we got big pots for everyone it could be ruined, right? Where you can't rely on that. It's a cool thing, right? But I think we have to enforce some rules there where the guards handle that. The question is when we're gonna add it exactly. You know, we all want everything. Again, that's always a challenge. But eventually, over time, we are reaching those various areas of development. And like I said, when we have to focus less on engine updates, performance updates, we have more resources to spend on those features. And we're getting closer to that. Am I lagging, guys, or what? We have hundreds of features that we'll be talking about over the years that isn't in the game and may not be in the game until another year or 2 years or 3 years. As I said, this is a marathon. We plan to host Mortal Online for more than 10 years, obviously more than Mortal 1. And since we have way more resources this time around, we're going to reach way more ground development, especially when we are on a stable build engine and can focus more on game development. And you know, as long as we can keep on expanding, we will have more developers, which means more areas can be covered. So eventually, poker will be a thing, but I can't say when. And there are more features that are in the same category. It highly depends on obviously popularity and how many wants it, right? That gives us a good indication that it's worth spending it now rather than later. Right now, combat and TC overhaul is pretty much on the top. That's why that's also happening next. So quite naturally. Is Spider Queens be hatchable from the X2? Not with this patch, they are not. Live player count on the main website? Yes. So we have been building a lot of backend tools. So many different systems. Quite crazy. Very powerful system. Sometimes, sadly again, often something a player don't notice, but for us it's gold. Very important. And then in some cases more quality for you, better support and so on, better tools. One of them was, I don't know, you probably noticed our weekly boot now takes almost under 1 minute compared to our old system. It took what, 45 minutes for our daily boot or any reboot for that matter. Now it's under 1 minute. It's insane how good they have done that system, how everything works, how it saves and stores and launch. Extremely powerful system, which makes a difference, right? So a downtime or a quick reboot under 1 minute rather than 45 minutes. That's quite a lot of things. Yeah, that to get to that point, that also allows us to we have tools to monitor tools and see stats in a new way, which also allows us easier to just hook some of those stats and put them on a website. There's some cool stats we may want to share, right? Like how many of the clays are active in the world. You know, we can see that if Thurstar is 90% of the player base on Nave, that tells us something, right? Everyone can see that naturally, stats. We can see death, money flow, anything can be listed, including obviously player count. So there's some interesting things that we may want to share on the website, including player population. Or you're set in stone on removing spinning from melees. So I don't think it can happen overnight, right? When the meta is not to spin, you know, I think we have achieved an interesting point, because that means you probably have enough tools which is more powerful, so there's no point in spinning around. If someone got used to only spinning around, you know, we may allow that to still happen, but we may also take the opportunity to strict it in terms of making it cost more stamina or something at the same time as we add more tools, which means, you know, it helps us to not have that as a meta, you know. But we want obviously to a duel, a 1 versus 1 should be able to beat another player without spinning. That's one goal at least. But yeah, you know, it's quite mixed. Some people love spinning and master it, find it fun, while some hate it. So it's a tricky one, right? It spins is day one. there are so many other games that give a good hint. What should that would be nuts. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Can you spinning in just as a flare? I mean, like I said, you know, I don't know the answer until we're getting to those abilities where players also can confirm, you know. These combinations are at least as efficient as spinning meta, so I don't have to spin anymore. I don't have to master spinning to win a duel anymore. That's where I want us to reach at least. I don't know if we're gonna get there instantly or get halfway. You know, it's hard to say until you guys got your hands off some of those abilities. The armor stacking is just a visual bug now. The stats for it has been fixed, to my knowledge. I know the visuals are still there, fooling players. We got a few reports of that, but I'm quite sure Sebastian looked into those to make sure that it's just a visual thing now, if I'm not mistaken. Hey bro, you guys been doing a great job. Goonzy, thank you very much, appreciate it. Spinning took me a while to get used down, but I enjoy it now. That's a quite common thing. When you see it, I don't like it, what the hell is going on? But then you practice a bit, get a little bit into it, starting to win fights, then it's actually quite rewarding, right? You get addicted and hooked, and that's how all our veterans, that's their journey, right? But if you don't get into that first step, you may not like it ever, or you just, it's not just your style. So we want to tap into those additional options so more can tap into the combat and enjoy it. But yeah, spinning is a skill. It is a skill. It takes quite a while to master and be good at it. And we have a lot of variation of that in the game. Some are really good at it, some are not so good at it. The thing is also, again, like we've talked many times, I think most agrees to that, that's mostly when you're doing a one-on-one or a few 1 versus 2, 3, small amount, right? In any big battle, group versus group, siege, spinning goes out the window, and it's you don't spin anymore. You have to focus on the color, healing, parry, you know, corruption, magic, everything goes. And if you overreach, you're dead. So spinning is not really a thing on the battleground in the same way. Which is good, because that's also naturally how the game is played usually, right? But yeah, when you're dueling, practicing, the spin is needed to be able to kill each other, kind of, because of no other options, right? So, in the battlefield, everything looks awesome. You don't see people spinning because then they get whacked from someone else. They're not paying attention, they're spinning. You're not aiming on one target when you're in a big battle, right? So you have to quickly change and adapt. So naturally, we're good when it comes to that, right? It looks good, everyone enjoys it, and it looks awesome. It comes down to the duels, right? Or you have a small group fight when spinning becomes a thing again. In early beta, people haven't discovered spinning, so people weren't spinning then, right? But it was very difficult then to kill someone else when you were a high parry master skill. And then spinning became a thing because now you got an edge. I think we have a task on Akbond. I don't recall exactly what was going on there, but it could be something, yeah. Alright, shall we do the giveaway? Almost hitting the 2-hour mark. 1 more minute if you tune in, exclamation mark MO2, and then I will roll the dice. Spins are fine and I'm a noob. Yeah, I mean, it's fine for many, but we do want everyone to be able to go in and see, this is a cool combat system. It looks cool, I can enjoy it, now I want to master it, and we need options to it, right? Options is often very good in a sandbox game. We don't have many options right now when you go to a certain skill level on melee fighting, PvP. Spinning becomes the focus, right? And I think our hope that our new different combat abilities will take the edge off the spinning meta, at least a step, and hopefully fully eventually. You can always make it, you can't turn very slow. I mean, there are ways to kill it, right? But like I said, if we kill it now without any options, we kill duels in the world, and people enjoy dueling as well. Every day we can find a gang dueling across the world and enjoying that, practicing, and that dies instantly if we just remove it without options. So I think we are all on the same page that we have a goal for it. We are trying to take it now. All right. I'm gonna do the giveaway, guys. And what are you talking about? Spinning should not be a thing at all. It's horrible to see. I'm a veteran that spins a lot and does that well. I'm just talking about the facts, what people think and what we agree on, and you know, I think the majority are on the same page, so I'm not sure what exactly you're referring to. Like I said, I want there to be viable options to defeat your opponent without spinning. That is our goal. And I think many agree to it, but majority also agree that we can't just remove spinning today because then you can't duel anymore, right? Because you don't have the options yet. I think we're all on the same page. Dueling and spinning, it's a skill, like in Counter-Strike, people train headshot the same way. Yeah, absolutely it's a skill. I mean, that's why we have people practicing every day and master it, and they're extremely successful in duels, right? That's those are the top tier duelers in the world. They do it very well, right? If you don't know how to spin in the skies, you're not winning the duels today, at least. So absolutely it's a skill, but I think we can have more interesting skills and more tools, so that's not just the meta, right? But yeah, I agree, it's a skill. I'm not good at spinning. I get my ass kicked because I haven't practiced it enough since the Combat Beta days, pretty much. Spin for the win. Alright, it's giveaway time. It's giveaway. Rad, so you don't think spinning is a skill. You don't need to practice to win someone in a duel. I've never started a MMORPG game that are more difficult to master the combat and PvP than any other game in the world. And you're saying it's not skilled because we are incompetent. I don't understand how your brain is functioning with that. That's just very strange. I don't think you understand. All right, it's a giveaway time. Good luck, everyone. Here goes the giveaway for today. And good luck, everyone. Here goes. It's strange to spin 3 times in your game. Yes, it's strange. I agree. Like I said many times. And the winner is Denishk. Congratulations. Congratulations. Denisk, are you here? Let's take a look. Are you here, Denisk? Let's give him a moment to respond, so I can give it away. Wrote in chat. Okay, can you write me a DM here on Twitch, Denisk, so I can give you the code. Are you here, Denisk? Send me a DM. Yes, we do one giveaway each stream. I've been doing that for ever. How many streams have I been doing, guys, since day one? I think it's over 300 or 400, I don't remember. So quite a lot of keys have went out over the years, and quite a few streams we have done mega giveaways with 5, 10 giveaways, hardware giveaways, random stuff. So we've been quite generous on our stream giveaways, I think. A friend of Henrik's. I don't have that many mortal friends. I have a few real life friends that I play with, but like I said, Backrow, I said that our vision wasn't spinning. We didn't even consider spinning a thing until players started to practicing and finding it viable. If you were here doing the Comet beta early on, you didn't do that until, you know, quite a while. And then everyone had to adapt because it was superior in a duel, but never in a big fight. That's why we don't panic, because the game is not about having perfect, viable duels. It's about fights, wars, sieges, naturally, and you don't spin in those. So it's not a problem there, but it is a problem in duels. And we agree that there should be enough skills and tools to fight a battle. It looks cool and you don't have to spin. That's at least our goal, right? And hopefully we can get there. I never promised when we will put our player count on the website. I said that when we have backend tools that allow us to do it, and we have time from Sebastian to spend a moment on it, we will be able to do it. And we're getting those backend tools because we're using them in different things to monitor things on a daily basis. So it's easier for us to do it now, but we also are extremely cranked in terms of deliver the expansion in time. And we're a small team, like I said. So even though there, you know, we have thousands of small things we want to do, but they stack up very quickly. And I can't have some of our coders to just skip their daily deadlines and weekly deadlines, but we will absolutely try to do it. That's what I said. And we will do it sooner or later. Just that I don't want to stress our coders to death. All right, there are Denisk, and there are your Steam key. Congratulations. Are you a veteran from MO1 or MO2, Denisk? You can get more cosmetic items to purchase. So that is that heated debate we had many times, right? And the majority to our type of game agrees on where we're going right now, which means one subscription to rule it all. And everything is content-wise, skill-wise, player-controlled. That is the beautiful, best way for the game experience and for us as hardcore players or players. Then there's obviously the other routes that many companies do today. They just half ruin, I think, the game experience and lock content a lot behind money. And obviously many of those are very successful, and we can see that's a successful business model. But being hardcore passionate sandbox players myself, that's not something I wouldn't prefer as a player. I wouldn't be happy if the company locked all that behind microtransactions and such. But if our audience and entire player group is changing, and you know we have to adapt to that, we may be forced, right? But that's something we wouldn't want to do. And we still have a huge support from sandbox player lovers that want one sub, all expansion for free. You can get a scar, you can learn to make tattoos and hairstyles and create things, and then you decide to sell them and so on. So there's so much more value for players with not locked content, pay to win or pay to look like a unicorn thing. But like I said, this is also our work, right? Our living. If we are a dying breed and everyone now wants to skip that for locked contents, you know, we have to evaluate that. But so far we have enough support not to go that route, and we're quite happy for that. And it's better for the gamers and the game. The game have higher quality that way. So, you know. Dennis, that is a Mortal Steam key. Yes, if you already have the game, you either have another account or you can give it to a friend. Up to you. Yeah, like I said, you know, cosmetic, we know that is a very successful business model. I mean, I played Path of Exile over the years. I think it's an awesome game, even better than Diablo. And they do really good on cosmetic, right? Fluff and stuff. And they built their entire game to work very well with that. We haven't really developed our game to support the same thing. We want a really exciting world where you are in control of everything. If you find something rare and you can craft it only you decide who should have that. But if everyone can just go to the shop and have those amazing, crazy looking things and everyone looking like that, it kills off a little bit game experience, right? But you know, again, the consumers, you the players, are deciding obviously the future of our game as well. If we don't get support or have support for doing certain things, obviously it's up to us to see, you know, what can we do then? But like I said, we're happy to see a very steady number of subscriptions that doesn't represent the current online players at all, which many people confuse. That helps us to reliably expand and work and plan for the future. So that's something good, right? But like I said, you know, we need to be able to run a company, make money, survive, to be able to do this. And we want to expand at the same time, right? So we can do even more content for you guys. As long as we have support from you, we get enough subscription and that's going in the right direction. We're extremely happy to have that support, and we will deliver back to you with that money new expansions and updates to the game to make it better. The better looking strong, Henry. Thank you very much, Canero. Getting a little long. But you know, we see where a lot of you guys suggestions coming from. There are many successful games that do well on cosmetic only and such, but you know, we want cosmetic to be a profession. If you want to be a barber, you know, creating clothing and armors and making them unique, you know, if you learn unique tattoos, hairstyles, you can offer them as a service. All of that goes straight down the bin if everyone can buy it instead, right? So, you know, maybe a good thing, we may making some money over that, but for you, the player, it's a worse experience, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Thanks for this, appreciate it. We don't have a date on the expansion. We will announce it when we are, you know, secured down the road. The subscription, cosmetic, and sell expansions. I'll buy it all. Yeah, but you know, some people already say we have a high subscription cost, even though it's under EVE and WoW and all those subscription-based games. If we add on top of that, because we also say that one motivation is that why it's worth the subscription is you get everything, including expansion, for free. So, you know, we hope that people will feel that you're getting a hell of a unique game, and you get everything included for one amount every month, so you know exactly what you're getting, and you're getting expansion for free. I think that is a good deal for me personally when looking at games I've been playing since day one, starting with UO. That's how I would like to do it when I find my game, right? So I think more people will be upset and think now we are just greedy and, you know, removing some of that in-game rewards. So the monthly cost, obviously if you commit to a 6 month, we're down at, what is it guys? Help me remember. $14.25 is the default 1 month, and then you can do 3 and 6, which means you're down to $12 US, I think it was. So about 12 US a month in that case. And that goes 100% back to the game development. Like I said, obviously we need to, I mean, Great game, community is trash. You know, there's always this loud small group that can be toxic and crazy trolls. But the good thing is we always see the same persons all over every year, in and out. They have such a persistence, you know, with that crazy stuff. I guess they have no other life. That's what I find enjoyable. But the good part is we're not talking about hundreds. We're talking about a handful bad people out there, just like in real life. So I wouldn't call the entire community trash, you know, even though some say, oh my god, everyone was so hostile. It's always those 5 bastard people being hostile and toxic to people. You know, the majority of the community is really awesome, really nice people, brilliant people, contributing in different ways. Many of them doesn't say a thing. A lot of them give feedback. And there will always be that little handful cheaters, you know, just like in real life. You will find cheaters. That's how it is, right? But I wouldn't say that it's the community. I always say it's that handful. Always the same people. I see them all the time. And they're persistent, you know. We can ignore them and, you know, focus on what's important instead. Even though it can be difficult sometimes, right? Apologize for generalizing. No, don't worry. But I mean, you know, I've seen it. Some, oh my god, they were so toxic, and that person was new and think that is our community. And then I look at it, it's that bastard again. It's that bastard. No, it's not. He's not representing the community. You happen to run into one of the bastards. You know, unfortunately. But the good thing is, it's quite a big world. There are plenty of guilds. You can move away. You can find really awesome people in this game. You know, you may as well even find your life partner and marry and get children. You know, that happened in our game over the years. It's pretty awesome, you know. So I would say that overall, we have an awesome community, great support, the subs in the right directions. We can see that we are getting a lot of backup from you guys, and we really appreciate that. And then, of course, we have that little small, loud, nasty group that will throw shit on anything, you know. But they're still here playing. Why? That's the question, right? People made children game. No, we have a lot of people that met through Mortal Online and married and getting children, you know. So, you know, quite cool. But yeah. We have everything, right? Just in real life. And that makes it interesting as well. We just have to learn to toughen up and ignore the bastards, you know. That's life. I'm not calling out anyone. Calling out the trolls that just shit on anything and are living in their own bubble, haven't touched grass for 10 years, and they get a lot of power and coolness factor for shitting on things, right? But you know, it doesn't touch me, it doesn't touch us. We've been here for 20 years. We are in control if we're gonna continue or not. Need days for TV? Exactly, it is what it is. The miserable people always are loudest. Very true. You don't hear from the people that love the game. Exactly. The majority goes in every now and then. Some every day, some every second, third day. Go in and play, enjoy the game. They don't have too much time to spend on it. But they're happy to enjoy it and get a lot of enjoyment from it and a break from real life and stress and chaos. They don't really complain often, you know. They're not even vocal in here on Twitch or on Discord. And they're very happy. And sometimes they reach out and say, you know, I really enjoy the game. Thanks for all the hard work. You know, slowly but steady, many of them send us that message. And they are very nice because, you know, they don't make a lot of fuss. But obviously, we always try to look on why is there fuss? You know, what can we do to improve the game, right? But yeah, it needs to be reasonable ways to be able to communicate and use the data. Alright, so that was the giveaway, guys. I guess we are on the ending point and we are past the 2-hour mark already. Time flies, time flies. Yeah, we always try to fix bugs. I don't think there's been a single patch without bug fixing. You know, it's an extremely complex game world we have built, and there are bugs, absolutely, and we try to fix those that are most frequently reported or simply causes bad game experience. So that's always something we try to cover as well as much as we can. Great patch, keep it up. This is good content for the game. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, it's, well, like I said, not a very exciting patch, you know, getting chat updates. Wow, it doesn't sound very cool, right? But a much better chat system. But most importantly, a very important engine update and performance, noticeable for everyone, went in a really good direction. And there will be another step in the expansion, upcoming expansion. So I'm very excited for a Reckoning patch. That's a big expansion for the game in many ways. So the stacking of armor, to my knowledge, Sebastian said it is fixed. He confirmed it as late as yesterday when someone reported that's a bug, but there's a visual bug on it. I may have to have him confirm again, and you know, our QA team confirm it again. But they have triple confirmed since a patch that you can't stack them. You know, if there isn't a new way of doing it that we haven't missed, but visually it's fooling them, thinking it's stacking while it's not. That's what I heard. I'm just passing the coffee grinds. It is fixed, exactly. That's what I heard, right? So I think there's some confusion going around. And understandably so when some of the UI visuals aren't telling the truth, right? So that should be fixed as well. Some say they're all still stacked from before patch. Not sure about that, but again, the team will confirm. I don't think so. Alright, everyone. I think this is my cue. 20 minutes overtime, but time flies when I hang out with you guys, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you guys and show you some of our works and updates. We will post all of this on our website as well. So if anyone missed it, you can check it out. Both the videos we have and some information, obviously. So let's take a look if we're gonna do a little raid, perhaps, shall we? Hope you guys enjoy the content we shared today. Next focus stream will be focused on AI and updates. There's some cool stuff going on there as well. And then, as you may have seen, number 3 stream will be focused on the TC overhaul. That's a big one for a lot of you veterans. I know that's a really good update there to the system. And then we have the last one, combat abilities. So you don't want to miss that one, obviously. And we will require a lot of PTR testing on combat abilities to test it to death. So we hopefully are in a good balanced position. And hopefully we will step away a little bit from the spinning meta, so there's a new efficient way of dueling for once, you know. Alright, let's see. Shall we do a little the usual oops, whoa. A little surged by the AI. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. You know, there's a satisfaction in slaying some of these beasts. You will see more what I'm talking about. I think you're gonna love it. But obviously we want to give everyone a big challenge as well. If you're up for a big challenge with your gang, hopefully we will be able to offer you that as well. And there will be city invasions, so that's going to be very exciting to see what the players are doing. Are they going to whack each other's back while the guards are busy fighting the invasion, or are they going to, you know, have a truth and fight off the invasion to secure the city again? It's going to be exciting to see. Obviously it's up to the players, right? So that's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed what we showed so far. The guys are killing it. We have a lot of cool stuff. Obviously we're not revealing everything, so there will be some goodies for everyone to explore on patch day as well. Let me do a little quick poll as usual, and we will do a little raid. One minute. Quick poll. Oh my god. Farmer Tony, thank you very much for the gifts. Appreciate it. Yep, obviously the next content have already been under construction for quite a while, so we're gonna soon show stuff like that also. Very excited to show that. It looks beautiful. We learned so much building Milan, you know, that obviously I wish we knew, and also some tools we didn't have, which will just makes our progression and expansion even better and better and cooler. So it's gonna be awesome to show you that as well soon enough. Let's see. Okay, just a few seconds left. Shoot your vote and we will raid. This is changes. That's a focus stream, as you can see on our website. Go to the main website and you will see the countdown for those streams soon enough. Timothy it is, guys. All right. Thank you everyone for participating today, joining in, and thank you for all the questions and all the support, the gifts, subscriptions, everything. It means a lot for me and the team. We're here to deliver hopefully the best sandbox game, a truly unique gaming experience in the world. And we're very passionate about this. And with your support, we can go infinitely, you know. We will take over the world and show the world that we want sandbox games by doing this. And I'm very excited this year for releasing these huge updates to the game. And I think that will help everyone to join back in that took a break or just waiting for content, tired of the game or whatever. I'm hoping that everyone will be back to try out the new content and get deep into Mortal again. And of course, to get new players finding their home to enjoy it. And we appreciate you guys showing the game to your friends and, you know, taking in on new players and showing them that this is a unique home that many didn't know existed even. All right, raid time. Let's see, where do we have it here? Timothy it is. Right, thank you everyone, have a good night, and I will see you on the next stream. And here we raid. Let's say hello to Timothy, shall we? And here we go. Alright, have a good one. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.